Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to photograph fast moving objects like these dice on the screen. So if you want to get into the world of freezing fast action and into high speed photography, then keep watching. I'm Terrence and this is Photography in 123. If you're new to this channel, it's all about showing you how to take amazing photos and how to use your camera. So subscribe now to learn more. The first thing to overview with you is what you're going to need. In terms of gear, there's only a few things you're going to have with you to do this. You'll want to have your DSLR. In this case, I'm using my Canon 5D Mark II. You're going to need a tripod to put your camera on, so it's going to have to be perfectly stable. You're going to need an off-camera flash. In this case, I'm using my Canon 580 EX2. You're going to need the little flash stand that comes with your flash when you normally buy them. And I'm also using a MIOPS Trigger. This will make life a lot easier. You don't have to have one. I'll show you later in the video how you can do it without it, with another technique. But definitely if you want to do cool photos like this, worthwhile to get one. Link below if you want to check out their website. In addition, I had two other things to help me with this. The first was a black piece of foam core, which you could buy at Walmart or any craft store, and a white piece of foam core. The black foam core was to create a dead black background for me in my shots, which is what I wanted, so I used that in the back of my setup. And the white foam core I used on the side to create a little bit of bounce of the flash, to have a little bit of lighting from the other side. In this case, I set my camera to be slightly just above the poker mat that I'm throwing my dice on. The reason being, this foreground is actually very contextual to the dice, so it makes sense to have it in there. Depending what you're shooting, you may or may not want a different background, different foreground being in focus, out of focus. So it's going to change how you set up your camera and what kind of foreground and background elements you use. Since you'll be dropping the dice in the exact same spot so you can keep the camera focused in the same area, you're going to want to put the dice in that spot where you plan to throw them. So in this case, I believe it was the diamond of hearts that I had. I put the dice there, I dialed in my focus so it was perfectly clear, and I turned my autofocus off. So you're going to need to do that for this kind of shot. With this technique, I'll be doing a long exposure. So what you want to do is actually take a test shot to make sure that you're not getting ambient light in that photo. So shut off most of the lights that you're going to be not using. I had a little bit of light in the kitchen behind me so I could see what I'm doing, but it was very minimal. And I adjusted my camera in manual mode until I got a shot without the flash that had no light coming up. So your picture will be black like this one. Let's take a look at my specific camera settings so you could dial it in around the same, and then you can adjust from there. You want your camera in manual mode so you could set both aperture and shutter speed. I set my aperture to 9, which is the sharpest on this specific lens. Check out my video above about that. And I set my shutter to be open for 1.6 seconds. ISO you want to keep pretty low. In this case, I decided to keep it at 200. Let's take a look at the flash settings, because that's the most important. That's what's actually going to freeze the action in this. First thing you want to do is put your camera in manual mode versus ETTL mode. So press the mode button until you get to the M mode on your Canon flash. The flash will likely default to 1/1, which is full power flash. You want to actually reduce the power significantly so the flash fires faster, which is what's actually freezing your action. The faster you have the flash, meaning the lower power that it has to emit, the more likely it's going to freeze a fast moving subject. To do this, press the select button. You should be defaulting to the power control right away, and it should be highlighted on your screen. Turn the select dial counterclockwise to actually reduce the power so you increase the speed of the flash. For several of my shots, I had the flash just right beside my lens so I can get the kind of lighting I was looking for that lit up the dice really well, and a little bit of the foreground, the green matte. My flash was also connected to my MIOPS trigger. What this did is allows the flash to trigger when it actually hears the sound of the dice dropping. First, I turned on the trigger with the button on the top left hand side. Then I scrolled to the sound menu with the left-right buttons. From here, adjust the microphone sensitivity, then adjust the delay you want the flash to be on. I chose a 95 sensitivity for the microphone and a 20 millisecond delay before the flash would fire. Then you just press the enter button and the sound mode will be on. With this setup, every time I would drop the dice, it was just enough noise that the flash would be set off. The final step will be turning off most of the ambient light. pressing my camera shutter release, dropping the dice to set off the flash, and bada bing bada boom, I get a great shot like this. Bonus tip here, do you want to get some cool shots like this with the dice ghosting? All you need to do is unplug your flash from the MIOPS trigger, set your flash to have multi-strobe, and then use your strobe with the test button to actually light up your dice when you throw them. Tell me in the comments what shots you're going to try to take with this technique below. Is it going to be dice or something else? But I do want you to give it a try because it's a lot of fun. Click for my free download below, like this video, share it, and I'll see you soon.